Greetings and welcome to Dude's Comic Haul. I'm Jason and this is my weekly haul video where I share with you the new books I've picked up this week, talk a little bit about what I'm expecting from them and what I think of the series thus far. Apology first of all, there was no comic haul video last week. I meant to do one, but on the day I wasn't very well, so I just decided to chill with my comics. But I'm back, I'm better than ever now and ready to wade through another stack of comics. This week's haul is 11 comics, 3 of which though are books that didn't ship to my comic book shop last week, so I had to wait an extra week for. But a good stack of books. Let's, without further ado, get into it. We kick off with Dark Horse Comics with the Star Wars issue number 2. Really enjoyed the first one. I think the thing for me with this book is going in, I didn't think it was going to be awesome. For those of you who don't know, this is based upon George Lucas's first draft for Star Wars, when he called it The Star Wars. And so there's a lot of things he changed in subsequent drafts. And for me, I never expected this was going to be awesome. I always expected that there'd be things in here that didn't work, which is why they got changed. But it was just the interest of seeing what had been changed and how things could have been. It definitely took me 2 readings to get the most out of it, because you got that first reading, everything's there but it's all in different places, so you got to relearn your way around this universe. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to this one, seeing again some of the differences. I know some of the ones I spotted last issue, I think I can see why Lucas changed it. But yeah, I'm enjoying that one, looking forward to seeing what else is different in there. Next up we have Forever Evil, issue number 2. This is a mini-series. Really love Trinity War, which set this up, and the first issue was really great. Really looking forward to see what's going to happen to the heroes that are left in the world, and the villains as well. How are they going to react to the crime syndicate? But yeah, really enjoying that one. We then have Green Arrow, issue number 24. Love that cover. That's definitely an early contender for cover of the week. And the book itself is just brilliant. Lemire and Sorrentino have done a stellar job with this book. It was really rubbish. I dropped the book. I just couldn't read it anymore. But then Lemire, Sorrentino have come on board and they've done such a great job. And every issue I look forward to now. It's one of my favourite books that I get. And I'm really enjoying this one. And long may this run continue. Next up, this is a book that was out last week. It's another one of the Villains Month issues. It is Justice League of America issue 7.4, Black Adam number 1, and yes, it's a 3D cover. I got my first 3D cover last week, loved it, and I'm glad I didn't jump onto the 3D cover straight away, else I would have spent a ridiculous amount of money. But yeah, I thought, I saw this one on the shelf, I thought, you know what, I'll pick up another 3D one, because I did like that one last week. I don't know why Black Adam is in Justice League of America, because the Shazam backup was in Justice League, but hey, there must be a reason. But looking forward to this one. I don't know that much about Black Adam. I remember first reading him in, there was a weekly series they did called 52, and I remember reading him in that. But other than that, I don't really have any much knowledge of Black Adam. I don't know how much of this current version of Black Adam, how much of the origin stays intact, and how much of his character has stayed intact. So, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they bring him back and how's he going to fit into the whole Forever Evil thing. Next up we have issue number 12 of The Phantom Stranger. Last issue, which was like, I think it was a Trinity War tie-in, the Phantom Stranger sacrificed his life. He knew if he went to heaven again, he was going to be wiped from existence. He took Batman and the others to heaven to try and get answers from Dr. Light to whether or not, you know, what happened, whether it was his powers or whatever that caused Superman to kill him. And of course they got catch, and Phantom Stranger got wiped from existence. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happened to our hero in this one, if there's going to be some kind of twist. Next up we jump over to Image, and we have Lazarus issue number 4. I picked up last week from eBay. I got issue number 3 on Lazarus. It had been a series I was enjoying. It was okay, but it hadn't rocked my world yet. You know, I thought there were some interesting ideas there. I thought it could be a good one, but it wasn't one that I was salivating for every month. But then issue 3 was the issue that got me on board. By the end of that issue, I just sort of sat back and went, wow. And I you know, that's the reaction I love when I read a really good book, you know, and you're there like, wow, that was awesome. And we're always searching for that feeling, that sensation. And if I could get that 11 times this week, it'd be a fantastic week. But issue 3 was the issue that got me with Lazarus, and I'm fully on board now, and I'm really looking forward to this issue to see how things are going to work out. I believe that this is the last issue of the first arc, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's all going to get wrapped up. Every issue for me has felt like a different kind of book, so I'm kind of hoping that this issue kind of gives us a flavour of what kind of book it's going to be going forward. But really enjoyed issue 3, really looking forward to issue 4. Next up, this will be the first book I read this week as we jump over to Marvel Comics. It is All New X-Men 17, and which features chapter 6 of the Battle of the Atom. Loving this story. I think it's Marvel's best event they've done, going back probably to the Siege. I think it was the last time I enjoyed a story this much. You know, Avengers of X-Men had its moments, but I can never remember each month, well, not each month, each week, really salivating for the next issue. And they've done some really great cliffhangers in this series, and I'm really enjoying it. And looking forward, hopefully, to getting some answers to how things left off in the last issue. Next up, we have a book that came out last week. It was FF number 12. Looking forward to this one. Matt Fraction, he's kind of left the book now. Lee Aldred is going to be writing it. The current artist, Michael Aldred, is staying on it, and I think he finishes issue 16. So there are changes ahead. But I've enjoyed this book, especially the kids in this one. It's really good. It's one of the things that a lot of the Marvel books have right now. While there are a lot of books with different tones, but there are books out there like that are really fun to read, but they've got this dark undercurrent going on, which I really like. I think you look at books like Daredevil, FF, Hawkeye, Young Avengers, to name just a few off the top of my head there. You know, I've all got that same kind of vibe going on, where it's a fun kind of book, but underneath the surface you've got this dark undercurrent, which I think is brilliant. And I'm really enjoying this one, and it'll be interesting whether the tone changes or shifts when we get a new artist and a new writer. Next up, also out this week, is number 16, Iron Man. We're getting back to Earth, which is going to be brilliant, because I always prefer Iron Man on Earth than in space. I didn't really feel the whole space thing. I think the whole Secret Origin of Tony Stark story arc, for me, has epitomised this book. It's been very up and down. There have been issues where they've been really good. There have been issues where there's really good ideas, not quite really well realised. And there's just been issues that have fallen flat. I'm glad we're coming to the end. I think they've amped it up the last couple of issues. I like what they've done with Quarter 451. I find him a very interesting character, and it'll be fascinating to find out what happens to him at the end of this. And also, I'm looking, once this is over, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Iron Man is going to kind of react that he was genetically engineered. I think that's something, hopefully they'll explore down the road, his feelings to that. But before then, he's got to disable the God Killer armor before it destroys Earth. But yeah, hopefully now we're back on Earth, things are going to really pick up, you know, for Iron Man. Next up we have Savage Wolverine issue number 9. This issue is written and drawn by Jock, and basically Wolverine crashes on this alien planet, I believe is the story, which got me. I thought that sounds pretty cool. I really like what Savage Wolverine does, and I think it's definitely a model I'd like to see Marvel do on other books, because the problem is when you have characters in so many books, it's difficult to keep the continuity going right, because you've got so many different writers in different departments that kind of have to kind of like keep in gist of, well, what's happening in that book. And I much like it, if you want to tell Marvel stories with a character, have a book like this. Savage Wolverine, it's not in continuity. They have every so many issues. They have a writer come in for 5 or 3 issues, tell a story, then they go and they get another writer in to tell a story. And I really like that. You don't have to worry about continuity, you can just enjoy the story. And that's something that I really like, and I think I wish Marvel would use that model more. Maybe have 2 Avengers books that are continuity heavy, and 2 Avengers books, 2 X-Men books, and say take a Wolverine book and a 4-book Captain America book, and say these are the books that are all going to be primarily continuity based. And these other books that we're going to do extra, they're just going to be fun stories. We're going to bring writers and stuff in. They can even do their own arcs because it's not in continuity. I think that's the way to go. I can understand why Marvel would maybe be resistant to that, because people could kind of look at it and say, well, it's not in continuity, so I can skip that one. But, you know, I think if a book's really good and you're telling really good stories, it will get an audience, especially if you push it as a good book as well. I think Marvel are pretty good at pushing the books. I think that's something DC aren't quite as strong as. You know, they don't like look at, say, well, our best-selling books are, say, like Batman. So we're going to put we take these comics that aren't got many readers, but are getting particularly critical acclaim. We're going to take them and put adverts for them in our most popular books, and they don't. But anywho, getting back to Marvel, I'm really looking forward to this one, Savage Wolverine. I never read anything written by Jack. I've seen stuff illustrated by him in the past, but I'm looking forward to this one. Could be good. And finally, this week we have Uncanny Avengers, issue number 12. Written, as always, Rick Remender. Love his stuff, love his team books. We got Salvador Larroca on art this issue. I don't know, I was really loving Daniel Acuña's art, so I'm a bit gutted that he's not on the book now. Hopefully it's just a 1-issue rest for him, but it'd be interesting to see what Larroca does with the art. But anytime a book's got Kang in, I'm happy because he's one of my favourite villains. So those are my books this week, 11 books. The mission this week, I will have the review up at the latest on Sunday. It could be earlier depending how I do, but I think definitely look for Wednesday. I think that will be the day that I can say 100%. I'm sorry, look for Sunday, sorry. Sunday's the day, definitely look for that. And then of course I'll be back next Wednesday with another haul video. Thank you to everybody who has been subscribing to my channel and has been leaving me comments and has also given me thumbs up. I apologise to those that I haven't replied to. I must get on to that. I am not very good at replying to comments, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate them. I do. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it the thumbs up so I know you like what I'm doing. And that's been me for another week done. I've been Jason, and this has been Dude Comic Haul. Bye for now.